Arsenal's title hopes last season ended on the 18th of December away at Palace, when Bukayo Saka tore his hamstring and was out for 4 months. Arsenal suffered, and rightly so, neglecting buying a right wing all these years, someone that could allow Saka's usage and amount of games played to be reduced, leading to less risk of injury. But they have finally addressed this in Noni Madueke. He's decided to make this move knowingly to compete with Bukayo Saka for the right wing position, and with his mentality and persona, I don't think he's coming to be a bench warmer. Either way, Arsenal have addressed this need and also added a different profile to improve our team and make our attack more flexible. And I'll be breaking down his profile, his history, what he brings to this Arsenal team, and why he'll be pivotal for Arsenal's title hopes in the 25-26 season. If you're new and you're returning, you haven't already hit that subscribe button. I'm almost at 1,000 subs. Smash the like button on this video. You're doing so well with the likes, and comment down below anything you agree or disagree that I say in this video. At 23 and 5'11", Noni Madueke is an England international, former Chelsea and PSV player, mainly operating on the right wing but can also play on the left. A controversial signing, probably one with the most polarizing reaction I've seen for a new signing, even worse than Kai Havertz in my opinion. Is it the price? Is it the Chelsea factor? Or worse, do people actually think Madueke isn't a good footballer? Let's talk about Madueke's strengths. In the 24-25 season, Madueke had 11 goals and 4 assists in 42 games for Chelsea in all competitions, equaling his tally for the 23-24 season. Not necessarily being the best stats for a team who finished 4th and having started 26 games in the Premier League, but his underlying stats and the tape is very, very interesting. One of Noni's best traits is his shooting and his ability to create his own shot. He ranks in the top 7% for shots taken per 90 at 3.54 and the top 8% for shots on target at 1.33 per 90 per FBref. Some may see this as selfish, but Arsenal lack shooters. How many times have you seen Arsenal get to the final third and you just see a player either pass, try a little chipped pass, or a tame effort on goal? A need for guys wanting to take the emphasis in the final third is huge. Noni Madueke, when on the pitch, will be looking to score, and I'm not mad at it at all. Noni ranks in the top 4% for touches in attacking penalty area at 8.15 per 90, the top 1% for progressive carries, and carries into the penalty area at 6.82 and 4.12 per 90 respectively. This shows that Noni has the ability to dribble and carry through players, but with the intent, once he gets in the box, to let it off. He's a big threat in transition as well, and even in a low block situation, creating space to weave through and get a shot off on target, similar to Bukayo Saka and Ethan Nwaneri. I have to respect a young London boy taking the risk to go to a big club like PSV at 16, in a foreign country and that young, and breaking into the first team. Remember, he did play against Arsenal in the Europa League in the 22-23 season, and making that move to Chelsea, a high turnover club of course, gaining 2 years experience in the Premier League and leaving Chelsea to join us just before the Club World Cup final, where he would have definitely featured. I respect that. Looking at Chelsea's 3-1 win where Madueke played left wing was a good example of how good he can be on the left, and Arsenal having a different look from that side, making us more unpredictable, and seeing the same side winger go on the outside and give them outswinging crosses to the likes of Havertz and Gyökeres. He of course has his flaws. He does need to improve in the creative side of his game. He does like to create for himself. That's something you can say Saka has got quite ahead of Madueke. But in a team like Arsenal, with the coaching environment that we have and the focus on detail, I'm sure that aspect of his game will improve. And a focal point and runner like Gyökeres can also aid in him making those assists by finding those runs. He also needs to improve in his work off the ball. Some of his defensive stats aren't the greatest, like his interceptions, ball recoveries, aerials 1, ground duels 1, and tackles all being in the top 50% or lower per 90 for these stats respectively. But given Arsenal are one of the best defensive teams in the world, and the fact that Noni has that long-legged build, with the instructions and demands of Mikel Arteta to work hard off the ball, with a great pressing and off the ball structure that Arsenal have, I'm sure his stats will improve massively this season. He's good on his weaker foot, similar to Saka, but maybe not to that same level, but he's still functional where he can create and shoot with his right, but he'll always prefer to come on his left. Let's talk about Madueke's fit at Arsenal. Considering that he'll mainly be Saka's backup, especially if Arsenal go on to buy Eze or Rodrigo this summer, I still feel like he'll get a lot of game time. First of all, the price tag. The price tag of 48 million warrants that, but Saka's injury last season meant that Arsenal couldn't dare go into this season and not having a quality option for the right for Mikel to trust and rotate and also compete Saka to push him to make him better. Both being 23, both being in the same scenario for England, they have a good relationship, but probably a competitive one. something Arsenal need if we're trying to win these major trophies this season, which is a must. In games where Arsenal play high lines and mid blocks, Madueke's carrying ability will be major to help create chances and open up the space for other players to get into good positions to score or create. Being flexible may see him being used on the left in certain game states and oppositions in which Arteta might want to exploit a change in dynamics. As I said earlier, him playing on the left is essential even if Arsenal do recruit there. Saka's the main man and will play a lot of minutes on the right hand side and start a lot of games. I love Madueke's personality, the banter, the confidence, but also the will to want to improve. He recognises that he wants to impact games and he wants to decide games, a trait like pauser and like breaking lines that I love. Not much transition will be needed for him as he's already playing for a high Premier League club and already living in London. Born in North London, he's from North London and he's back home. I'm excited by this though, and I'm happy that Berta and Arteta are looking to address all the holes in the Arsenal squad after paying at times last season, which jeopardised any hope of any real major silverware. Any concerns with the Madueke deal? At 50 million, that's no small fee. There will be an expectation for him to perform and compete for starts and impact us winning at Arsenal because we need to win some major trophies this season. The fans and the real negativity towards him once his signing got announced puts him under huge scrutiny and pressure to play well and win over most fans. Not his fault, and I'm really saddened by the fact that Arsenal fans reacted like that, but this is football. And realistically, he won't be the main starter as long as Saka's fit or not suspended, so he will need to be effective in the minutes that he gets and the starts that he gets in the cups and obviously off the bench and in midweek games. In summary, I believe this is a very good deal for Arsenal. Against the majority, Arsenal need to address all positions and need to make intelligent signings. At 23, 2 Premier League years of experience, won the Conference League and the Club World Cup with Chelsea and domestic cups with PSV and the Under-21 Euros Championship in 2023, come into a situation that's tough, where his cards are against him and he backed himself to make a difference and fight his way into the team. To me, Madueke is a player that will only get better. Taking shots, scoring goals and carrying and skipping past players is only something that will excite the Arsenal fans. And Bukayo Saka really wanted him, so he will know how to use him and he will know how to improve in the areas that he needs to. Comment down below your thoughts on what I've said about Noni Madueke. Do you rate the player? Do you not rate the player? Do you think it's a very good signing from Arsenal, bar the price? Or what do you think? Everything that you think, let me know in the comments down below. And like this video, subscribe to the KAPE channel.